we'll start out with some news from Salon Today.
Do you need
We've
the
got,
bum 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 bum?
yeah, give me the bug. Aren't there sound effects on this thing too?
I'm
No,
gonna
don't do
find it.
it.
I'm gonna find
There
it.
there are. You'll probably give me the duck quacking sound. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You're a good dude. So, a bunch of reports came out on in Salon Today for 2023, and so that we I cherry picked a couple of them for us. The
2024.
biggest one is, huh?
We're in
No,
24.
but we're in 2024, but this is for what we saw in 2023.
Oh, gotcha.
You haven't changed your calendar, have you?
No.
Yeah, yeah. You're the kind of guy that still writes 2023 on checks too right
I'm
now,
still
right?
writing 2020.
Anyway,
Shift slightly to your left before you start giving these statistics. There you
there
go.
we go. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah,
Feel
yeah,
better about life now?
yeah.
Um, so they came out with us demographics for salon clients. The biggest demographic that we see in the salon right now, according to Salon Today, is customers 55 and older make up 25.4% of our salon revenue in the US. This is US salons. This isn't worldwide. So
25 and older.
55 and older.
Oh, 55 and older make up 25% of the
5 point,
revenue.
right. Okay. Just to give you an idea of what you're seeing come through the door. Now, some of us have, an older clientele. Some of us have a younger clientele. But they took all the salons and they pulled them and they crunched these numbers. The leading demographic for salon people that come in and out of the salon and use our services is wait, I lost my notes. There we go. 25 to 34 age range. They're the ones with the most disposable income. They
They're
found.
the ones with the most disposable income, but 55 and older is 25% of the revenue.
Right.
That's huge, man. So that's all your that's all your gray hair touch-ups.
Those are all your gray hair touch-ups. And really, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of my mid-range clients from that 25 to 34 demographic are actually starting to get those sparkles and they want them gone. They don't even want to deal with them. You know,
So that's
they become a
interesting.
big and highlights, using highlights to blend and things like that. That is really what we're seeing more and more of. It's an interesting statistic just to keep in the back of your head, especially when you start wanting to do promotions and things like that. So at least you know who you're talking to, and you're not just casting a net out there and praying for the best. So that's why I always like these little tidbits. And here's a fun one. Here's a great one
Okay.
for anybody who's involved in our industry, and especially if you are an operator. Hair salon market in 2023 rose to 46.2 billion dollars. Billion.
That's the hair
Billion.
side. That's the hair side.
The hair side.
Nice.
Okay? The hair salon market, which means what falls under hair salon market. So that falls under your distributors, that falls under your products, that falls under what the revenue we're creating in the salon itself. That's huge. That's $46.2 billion. That's awesome. I mean, anybody who's operating behind a chair right now should feel really, really good about
Yeah.
that. And especially with all the changes that our industry has gone through, that we're still pulling that kind of revenue. That's huge. That's huge.
So then when
And
you're
then,
targeting towards your clients, you have your 55 and older, you can target to them in one way. It's still a
right,
valid source of income. 25 to
right,
34, you could target to them a very specific way. That's still a valid source of income as well too. And
right.
then all the services that you provide still are viable, so you can pick and choose which services you like and don't like, and each one of those services are still viable as well.
And you could also actually take these age ranges, go on the TikTok or internet or whatever it is, and actually see what they're going to be coming to you looking for.
Hmm.
Really
Okay.
get an idea of the trends that are going to be coming that way. So you are prepared and be like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Or I've got a twist on that. You put your own stamp on it, but I think that's going to help you in marketing. You know. Now here's the fun ones: salon trends in 2024, and I know this
Okay.
one is your favorite. There are that right now. There's just a handful full of them. Um, AI powered virtual try-ons for your clients, where you can take an AI and say, Sally Smith, who, has hair down to the middle of her back and she's talking about a chin length bob. You can actually take AI, take her picture, put a chin length bob on her, and it looks very realistic. So you can actually get an idea of what it's going to look like and I think that's going to save salons in the long run.
You
And I
know
know
what's
you
so
believe,
funny about that? Because okay, so in the early 2000s,
yes, yes,
everybody was like, "Oh, Y2." So okay, so a little history lesson for the youngsters. When the year 2000 came around, it was referred to as Y2K. There was this huge scare about Y2K. Everybody thought the world was going to end because the bankers couldn't figure out how to move a decimal point. You remember
right?
that?
Oh
And it
yeah,
was like,
oh yeah.
nobody was ever going to be able to write a check anymore. Nobody was ever going to be able to do anything anymore. And
All our
so,
computers were going to be, all our computers were going to be, no, just paperweights because, it wasn't going to be able to switch over. And
oh my
then
God,
also, but then if you also remember in the early 2000s, there was a salon program
that's what
where
I'm.
you could snap a picture of your client and then basically it just photoshopped a hairstyle on
It
them.
was so rudimentary back then. It was hysterical.
It
It didn't
was.
work for nothing, but we had more fun with clients just making a fool out of ourselves and themselves trying to figure out how to work the stupid program.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was, but what was amazing about it is it gave insight and it gave credibility that change is okay and that you can have fun. You should have fun with your look. You shouldn't just get stuck in one look.
Right. Right.
Now,
Well,
that software has improved tremendously, leaps and bounds over the years, to the
right.
point where now, with AI being the next thing, and until Arnold comes and takes us all out on Judgment Day, until then, we can enjoy this
I,
a little bit, because this AI thing is love it or hate it, man.
it's here. It's here. And yeah, the machines are
He
going to take
he
over.
he did say I'll be back, right?
I'll be
So
back.
yeah.
Um, the cool thing about that, we had that in the salon I was in at the time, and the cool thing was people would like see the photoshopped haircut, and they'd be like, "Yeah." But
Yeah.
you used to be able to choose colors too. So we started using that for color consultation, so at least they could get an idea of what their complexion looked like with the color. Um,
Oh, I
and
used to
and
paint
we
when I would paint the house, I would use it to paint the house. Those colors were so saturated. I'm telling you,
yeah,
man, back then that thing, it was a lot of fun. I poo-pooed on it a lot, but it was a lot of fun. But it, like, looking at that program now, that company, they're still around. They've made leaps and bounds. They've done it. It is better than it's ever been,
right,
and it's cool. It's really cool. I'm
right.
glad they stuck with it. I feel I guess I don't feel bad about poo-pooing on it, but now I have to give them credit. They've done phenomenal work
Right.
with the
And now also on
technology.
the heel, yeah, and on the heels of that, for those of you that use dispensary programs, like for
Oh, to create your formulas, your color
to
formulas.
create formulas and things like that,
Okay.
they're coming out with AI-based dispensary, you know,
Hmm.
dispensing where you'll be able to do color and everything, and it's the same mixture time after time after time again. There's no more it's all done by weight based. There's no more paying attention to the tick marks on the tube. Everything is
Oh, so for consistent formulas, it's going to be able to disperse you an even amount of formula each and every time.
right. And as someone who, I ran a color department for a long time, and now being an independent, I weigh everything because that was beaten into my brain. But I worked with people who would just, you know, and I know my owner used to lose his mind about it. And now, because I'm paying the bills now too, I'm very conscious of it. So I think this is going to help also with profitability, really for salons, because I know the biggest complaint in the world is how much color goes down the drain after the application.
Oh, you've
So this
made
is
fun of me plenty of times because I'm sitting there wringing every single drop out of that bottle.
I've watched you take a tube paper thin. And actually, you're the one and because of you now, I have that not just a tube key, it's a tube squeezer. It's got the two wheels on it. It's actually a dentist use it.
For the
And
yeah,
uh,
for the toothpaste.
oh my God, yeah, yeah, that thing's awesome. You can get it on Amazon for like $12. It'll say it, and you get everything out of the
You get
tube.
everything out of it, man. If I
Right.
could, if I had the time, I would slit the tube open in half, and I would take a squeegee and take
Yeah,
everything.
but I learned that from you. But I learned that from you years ago.
Yeah,
Really being mindful of what you're mixing. But once again, it's all comes down to bottom line, and also because with these AI enhanced programs, you're going to be able to do precise formulas time and time and time again, and you're leaving nothing to chance. For those of you that and I get the other side of it. I do get the other side of it of, well, you're taking away the creativity, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you're creative, you're an artist, but you're also a business person come the end of the day, which segues into my next news piece, which he can't wait. Look at him. Um, E-commerce stores. You can now take your website and add an e-commerce store to it for your clients to purchase whatever shampoo, conditioner, whatever styling product, whatever products you offer. You can now set it up through your personal website or through your social media where they can go right to your e-commerce store and it'll be shipped directly to your client. So they still get that Amazon feeling. And there's two sides to it, and we're going to get into that shortly, I know, but it is a way to increase your profitability even more. And I know there's going to be people out there that are like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I don't do retail sales, blah, 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 blah. I get that. We're not making fun of you. We all have our strengths, our weaknesses, and what we like to do and what we don't like to do. I know a couple of really successful stylists who are like, yeah, just bring it up on Amazon. Me personally, I pay my rent with my retail sales. So,
yeah. It's an ambassador referral program. Reach out to your local distributor,
right,
see if they are willing to work with you on that. A lot of distributors now are so they'll give you a referral code. You'll get a QR code. You'll be able to connect that and link that with your e-commerce website, and then your distributor will work with you on that. So
yeah,
definitely for further details, definitely speak to them about that and see if they are willing and if they have a referral, online
e-commerce site.
ambassador program site,
Yeah,
e-commerce site. Yeah.
yeah.
So definitely work
For
with them
the
on that. The thing what you're talking about when you say I'm an artist, I'm not a salesperson. It's something that you and I have heard because you and I have done a lot of shows. We've
right,
done a lot of hair shows. We've done a lot of programs. And there's always guest artists that fly in as well. We've always brought in guest artists as well. And then you and I have taught a lot of classes and a lot of hands-on classes. And we see a lot of hairdressers come in and a lot of hairdressers got that same mentality as well. I'm an artist. I'm not a salesperson. Well, I love my expressions. And I go, so you're a starving artist? And they're like, no, I'm an artiste. I'm like, you're a starving artist.